Hello, everyone. This is Colleen Watson again from Century Plant Publishing. Today is day 3, episode 3 of my live journal in the Blooming Journal Live. Just so you know, today is a Wednesday. Wednesdays are my cleaning days, so I'm a little bit more casual today because I'm going to be spending my morning doing a lot of pickup. I believe in being honest and telling you who I am in real life, in real time, and this is what it looks like. All right, so today we're going to talk about my products, not because I'm trying to sell you, just relax about that, but because I want you to understand why it is I do what I do and why it is I honed in on these two particular products as my zone of genius and what happened. So I hone in on two things. That is your About Me page and your blog. And I do this because I believe this is the more creative parts of your business world, which is why I call myself a creative business writer, not just a business writer. I'm honing in on those two places where you're allowed to showcase your personality as well as your business acumen and expertise. So, how did I get started with this? Well, it all got started when somebody laid down a challenge. Her name was Gabrielle Hurt, and she, at the time, was the co founder of a group called Second Act Women. If you are a woman over 40, yep, I just turned on a light. I just realized I could look better. If you are a woman over 40, check out the Second Act Women site. They are amazing. But I was kind of stuck in a rut, and she challenged me to do a keynote talk. And so I sat there and I thought, what could I talk about to these women? And then, what was my pain point? Now, I'm a writer. I love to write. And yet I really struggled with my About Me page. And I'm also a former librarian. So I did what librarians do, which is I deep dived on my research. I looked up everything so you don't have to. I looked at all kinds of examples, blah, blah, blah. And yet when I could sit down to try and write it, it just wouldn't come. And then my novelist brain kicked in and went, you know what, Colleen, this is really like a blurb. And okay, I just written my blurb, which is another hard thing to do, but they are essentially the same thing. It's a couple hundred words to get you the tone of what this is about so that you buy the product, right? Or that you look further. So, what did I use for my book blurb? Well, I used something called the Pixar 5 sentence method, which is a way to build up a story in something that is non-intimidating, very simple. So I created a whole workshop about that. And then in the middle of it, it was like the clouds parted. And it was like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. So that's how I got my start. That was my first product. And I still love doing that because when you do that, you give somebody a little bit of confidence about their website. Because let's face it, most of the time a website is in flux, you're still working on it. And for a lot of people, the visceral reaction they have when somebody says to them, "Oh, I saw your website," is not, it's right? It's the cringe because it could be better. This is a way to help you feel a little bit more confidence in that website. Second product, which is the content creation playlist, which is blog strategy. So that seemed like such a simple extension. And then I was like, okay, we'll create this and I'll write the blog posts. And then I sat down and realized that would involve trying to figure out somebody else's voice and writing in that voice. And that's not my zone of genius. What I love doing is sitting down with somebody and saying to them, okay, where are we at? What do you want to accomplish? What can we do to get you there? I love the strategy piece. So it was just like, well, why don't I just do that? So I honed in on, okay, we're going to get you a strategy. We're going to treat this like you're building a business plan for your blog because it is a long-term commitment. A blog requires at least a year, 3 is better before you're really, really, really going to see any traction on it. This is one of the things I make sure everybody understands before we get started because life is too short to put yourself towards this and then you lose momentum. So we figure out a strategy and a content calendar so that you are never stuck in the churn of content creation. where you're sitting there every week, like, okay, what am I going to write about this week? What am I going to talk about? That is a recipe for frustration. And I want you to be a successful and brilliant blogger, somebody whose blog really helps take them to a different place. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a keynote, maybe, it's just a way for you to combine it to do a lead magnet. All of that are legitimate, but it puts you in a place where your business gets to another level. That is what I hope to do. So, that explains to you why I do what I do. If you're interested in talking to me about it, there is my content calendar. I do a free 30-minute anything session, so you can talk to me about anything marketing related that you want to. Um, I don't care what it is. I'm prepared to be a sounding board. I'm prepared to be a devil's advocate. I'm prepared for anything. I also have a couple of freebies. I do have links below in the notes, but I also have them at the website at Century Plant Publishing /freebies. I hope that you take advantage of them. And thank you for joining me today, Rockstar. And remember, it is never too late to bloom. Have a lovely day.